Good morning. Yeah, that's all right. Some days I feel more talkative than others. I'm watching GC here. Looking for a rock star on the open. GC's making some moves, but I need a speed tick before anything. I'm not watching ES. It's still too close to the range. I want to see it further out of the range. watching NQ and ES. Well, I was. Not with that big up bar now. Big wick on the bottom. I'll have to wait. Hey, Holy, are you still in your oil position? I did get a Rockstar on OIM, but it wasn't oversold, and I didn't have a pullback alert, so there was no trade. Well, slow morning. I guess I don't mind. It's been a good week so far. 16, 6, 17, 16. Can't complain about that. Today's more likely to be a losing day anyways for me. But we'll see. Things might pick up around 6:30. If not, that's okay too. I think I'm well within my target. My goal is 30 ticks a week. Low, yes. But sometimes less is more, especially with trading. So 16, 22, 39, 55. I'm almost double my goal, which is common actually. So yeah, it's alright. Holy moly. Are you still in your oil trade? Nice, holy. What do the Greek people eat? Yeah. What, Slovaki? Is that what you eat? Oh, yeah.
Eat vegetables, so they also, it's really hard for me because Greek people eat a lot of vegetables.
Yes, yes. So you have a lot of Italian influence, I guess, for your food.
Uh, our main our main cuisine is like the Greek salad, and meat. But we also have some influence from Italy here,
Yeah.
even though that people don't want to admit that. you know. And what about you?
Yeah, I'm Canadian, so mostly maple syrup and bacon. Nah, I'm just kidding. Just a joke. uh,
Okay.
Personally, yeah, like I mean, I eat vegetables and stuff, but well, I like meat. I need a high protein diet, so
Yeah.
lots of meat is it nothing fancy like whatever spaghetti and I don't know chicken and rice.
Yeah.
I had elk. I moved to Western Canada there, and they have a little bit different food here. And I had elk not too long ago, and it's like beef, but a lot less fat. So
Li- like chicken, for example, something
no,
like that.
no, it's like beef. It's like a beef
Ah, okay, 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 okay. I get it. I get it.
elk. Yeah,
Like
it's a red meat. You can get steak and burgers and stuff out of it, but super lean. Yeah, it's really good. So
kind of like vegan meat.
it's like a no, it's an animal like an elk's an animal like a deer like a
Ah,
four-legged
okay, okay.
animal.
Ah, oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of people hunt around here, so I guess there's a lot of. Have you heard of buffalo? They're pretty similar.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. You said elf, right?
Elk, ELK.
Ah, ELK. Okay, okay, okay.
You can look it up. It's
Wait, let me check.
yeah, look it up. It's really good meat.
Because
Good meat. It's in the same family as like deer and caribou. I don't know if you have those animals over there. Probably not.
no, no, we don't have. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I
Yeah,
get it. It's like a bigger version.
yeah, yeah. A lot of people hunt around here. So
Okay. And
yeah.
do you also have like many dangerous species as well?
Um, we're pretty good in Canada that way as far as dangerous species. Like it's not like I don't know what we have there, but Australia they have like poisonous spiders, poisonous snakes,
Yeah,
poisonous.
yeah.
We don't really have any of that. I think we have like it's called the Mississauga rattler in just like one area in southern Ontario, and I think it might be poisonous. But other than that, you just got to worry about the big stuff. So it's going to be like black bears. I think that's the most dangerous thing is bears, black bears, polar bears, and I mean that's it. Sometimes there's like in the mountains there's cougars, the big cats. Um, but not really. I mean, the biggest threat that anybody prepares for are bears. You get bear spray. It's like a mace to spray them and burn their eyes, and then they have these bangers. You just pull a little thing and it shoots like a gunpowder or something. Makes a loud noise to scare the bear. But that's about it. That's about it. What about you?
Oh, I was muted and I was talking to myself. Amazing.
Oh, I was wondering.
Yeah, yeah. I said we right here. We don't have this kind of things. We don't have dangerous species. We don't have poisonous. Actually, we have poisonous species, snakes, but they kill you in 5 hours, so you have the time to go to get the antidote. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Order
But
submitted.
bears, we have small ones, I guess, but they are not that dangerous. Maybe in the mountains.
Order submitted.
Do you also have snakes, like dangerous ones, or?
No, most snakes you can just go pick up if you want to.
Mhm. And
But
what about the living standards there?
they're declining. So,
There they can.
um, yeah. So like I used to live in Toronto and I moved out to like rural Alberta, which is Western Canada. Toronto's like kind of the biggest city, Toronto and Ottawa, and it's really expensive. There's just a lot of people coming into the country, and they're going to the big
Yep.
cities like Toronto and Ottawa. And the thing is, it's putting a big crunch on the housing. Like if people want to go rent a place, it's becoming so expensive. It's
Yeah.
becoming really difficult, especially in Toronto. That's the hard part. And the people coming into the country, I'm in this
Yep.
GC trade, the gold trade. But anyways, the people coming in are more, their living standards are a little different, and they're willing to say rent a bedroom with two of their friends, so two people in a bedroom,
Yeah.
or they have 8 people and they'll rent
Order filled.
an apartment, like a 2 bedroom apartment with 8 people, and they'll sleep on the floor, So and the people usually that kind of were born here don't want to live like that necessarily. Maybe it's a man and a wife, and they just want the two of them to rent a place.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, it's
And
putting a
for
crunch.
example, how much? How much? Sorry. Say.
Ah, that's it. I'm done.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
I said I wanted to say like how much is the average rent price there?
How much is rent?
Yeah,
What
like the average,
what
just
currency
one.
do you know? You can convert it
You
like
can go dollar, USD.
yeah. Well, I guess I
United
would only
States.
know Canadian, so I can tell you in Canadian dollars. Like if you want
Yeah,
to,
yeah, yeah.
um,
I can just make the conversion online. So yes.
yeah. So in Toronto, like if you wanted just like a small apartment with 2 bedrooms,
Mm-hmm.
you would probably be paying like about $2,600, 24 to 2,600 a month. Um,
Wait, to euro.
Canadian.
It's okay. Yeah, I converted it to euro. It's so 1,700 euros.
Yeah, and that's just for an
Okay.
apartment. If you want like a little house or something like that, like I don't know, when I left it was like 3,200 a month, but it was gonna be more, like maybe about 4,500 for like a nice, a
Yeah.
decent house. So you're probably
And
looking
how
at
much? Sorry.
you're
What?
probably looking at I
You
don't know,
told?
like 2,500 euros for a house or 2,800.
Okay. So, and how much is the average salary?
Oh, I don't know. Um,
Wait, I'm gonna search it.
I wouldn't even know. You got to look at different places too. Like I mean, in the city, it's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
go with the average.
it's probably like
Okay, so it's
60.
the average is okay 72 800. Okay, Canadian.
72,000.
And yep,
Oh, okay, higher than I thought.
yep. And just to make the comparison, right here, if you go to Athens, which is the central city,
Yeah.
the rent is about 100 euros, 1,000. So in Canadian, it's 1,500.
Okay, yeah.
and the average salary is 700 euros. So it's about you pay more for the rent than the average salary. So you are good
Wow.
there. Don't worry. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, well, we've got this tricky thing they invented in Canada. They call it carbon tax. So
Ah,
basically, they're just taxing pollution. So if you pollute, then you got to pay tax. So they put that on fuel, and it's going up like every year. So now I think we're up to 60% of what we pay for like gasoline or petrol, and like
yep.
natural gas, anything. 60% of that is just tax now, and then the rest of
And
it's paying
how?
for the fuel. It's carbon tax. They invented it a couple of years ago.
Yep. Okay. Okay. And how much is? You said the taxation is 60. How much is the percentage of the tax
Well, no, yeah,
when you pay?
it's
Sorry.
I think it's different in each province. I'm here in Alberta. It's cheaper than Ontario. There's no provincial tax here. So, but I think the federal tax across the country is like 7 or 8%. That's just on like goods, I guess, when you buy something. And then as far as income tax, um, I don't really know. I had a business for a while, so I don't know exactly. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you make over 100 grand, you'll probably pay 50 or 60% tax.
Yep. That's here. For us, if you go to a gas station and you want to pay for the petrol, you pay 55% of the amount is tax,
Wow,
and
same.
45 is the price of the petrol.
Yeah, yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, Canada's a great country and all, but they're just making it hard for people, and they raised the tax on capital gains. So you have capital gains tax there. Like say you inherit a house or something from your parents, they give you a house
Yeah.
and they pay you got to pay tax. So they're raising tax on that, or just any like type of investment that qualifies for capital gains. They raise that. So the problem is that if you're gonna tax people for investing in Canada, then they're not gonna invest here. So people are pulling their
Yeah,
money out,
exactly.
and it's not good for the country.
It's similar to us, what you said right now about, I know, but I think it's a whole world situation right now.
Yeah, I think so. It's not, it's not a
Yeah.
whole lot different anywhere. Go to the UK, go to Australia. It's probably pretty much the same.
Yep, it is. But to be honest, I'm thinking of moving from here.
Where do you think you'd like to go?
No, I'm gonna go to the Netherlands
The
next
Netherlands.
year. Yep. Do you know Netherlands?
Yeah,
Oh, oh, okay. Sorry?
yeah. Sorry. Yeah, what do you like about the Netherlands?
Well, actually, I I'm just taking a better we are better in the financial world, so I'm willing to go there just to learn some things and just maybe return back. It's clearly like a career path, not
Yeah.
a you know because if for example I want to go for a master, right here it costs like 7,000 euros. Right there is 33% of the price. It's around 250, 2,500, something like that.
Oh yeah.
And it's it's more affordable, and it's also you also have many opportunities just to build a background, and then I'm planning to come back. Because here in Greece, if you have money, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You can do whatever the fuck you want, man. If you build a network, and you just raise some capital, there are also some opportunities right here in the financial sector.
Yeah.
So I'm planning to come back because the weather situation right here is amazing. The only thing that is bad is the living standard, and the corruption.
Yeah.
Which, if you have money, you can go with the corruption somewhat.
Yeah. If you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, something like that.
That's what we say.
Yeah, something like that. So that's my plan right now.
Yeah.
It may sound miserable, but I don't know. Yeah.
No, it ain't bad. You gotta do something. You gotta move around. Um.
Yeah, actually, it's not about the money, to be honest. I don't want, this high luxury stuff. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. I like what I'm doing, and I want to take it to another level, maybe.
Do you have business?
Right here, I'm running with my father. We have apartments on an island, and we also have a business, a small business with herbs, superfoods, teas, coffee, etc.
Oh yeah. Do you rent these apartments out on the island or
Yeah, we rent. Yeah,
short
some
short
of
term?
them yearly,
Okay.
some of them only summertime.
Okay. Like kind of like vacation. People come and vacation there.
Yep, yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Because we are from this island. We are like my father moved to Athens, to the central city, when he was 30 years old,
Yeah.
and kind of like that.
Wow.
But yeah,
That's awesome. So it's
Eh,
is the weather there? It's warm all year round.
actually, for you, yes,
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Yeah, for us, like you can go. We have degrees right here. You have Fahrenheit, I guess.
Yeah.
No? We have, yeah, Celsius, I said degrees.
Celsius. Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah. Actually, right here, it may snow
Okay.
in the central city once in 5 years.
Oh.
And if you go to the mountains, it's snowing, every winter. We also have mountains, many mountains.
Oh yeah.
But generally speaking, it's an average temperature. Like
Yeah. You're close to the water
you have,
too, right? So that'll
yeah,
regulate the temperature a little bit, I guess.
yes, but it causes much humidity.
Humidity. Yeah. Here,
Mm.
here we're dealing with minus 40, minus 45 last couple days
Yeah,
Celsius.
Kel, oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's raw cold. It's not with humidity, right?
Yeah. It's dry where I am. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
dry.
it's still
Yeah,
cold.
that's a really big difference, just to know, because I went to live in Denmark for 3 months,
Wow.
and we had like minus 15
Yeah.
right there, and it was way better than zero here, you know?
Because it was dry.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. It helps.
Yes.
Back in Ontario where I live,
Way,
it was moist. Lots of moisture.
what it was?
Yeah. Yeah. Back in Ontario,
Mm-hmm.
different part of Canada. It was cold, but it was a lot of humidity, a lot of moisture there.
Yeah. And
So
you felt the difference?
yeah, I don't know. It was warmer there though, so yeah, it was moist, but it didn't get minus 40. So now it's dry here, but then we get minus 40. So I don't know what's better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's all right.
Yeah. At least there you have like Is it like the energy stuff? Do they have competition, or they are just like three people running the business and they just choose the price that they will sell it?
For which, are you talking about energy, like oil and stuff?
Yeah, energy sector, oil, heating, etc.
You're asking it like if we have competition or?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or it's a one-man business. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, it's for um for taking like oil out of the ground and natural gas and stuff. Or
Yep.
yeah, we got some really big companies here. In northern Alberta, we have an oil patch, and it's called the Athabasca Oil Sands, and I think it's
Hmm.
one of the biggest oil patches in the world. But the government restricts it so bad that we can't really do much with it. I mean, we have big companies called Suncor, and there's a couple companies up there. Um, I mean, it's not really competitive. It's good oil. We just uh, we just send it to the states to get refined. We need to refine it here, but I don't know. It's not really competitive, but we're the problem is we're competing with the government to like get
Uh,
permits and to let us ship it to like Europe and stuff. I know there's a good chunk of Europe that gets their natural gas from Russia, where we could send it from Eastern Canada at a cheaper price, but the government won't approve the permits to do it. So I mean, I think we have a lot of natural gas, a lot of everything really. We have a lot of natural gas, a lot of oil, and then everything else too. There's a lot of gold. There's a lot of nickel, like in the mines. We've got a lot of trees. We've got fisheries, a lot of fisheries. We got a lot of water. I mean, to me, Canada should be the richest country in the world. There's no doubt about it. Not just for the oil. I mean, Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, like they're good, but all they got's oil, right? We got everything, every resource you could
yeah.
possibly
No, no.
want,
It's yeah. I totally agree with this.
and it could be
I
really
totally.
good. We shouldn't have to pay any tax. I don't think we should have to pay any tax, just like Abu Dhabi or whatever. But the
Yeah,
government,
but I think
I don't know.
they're running many businesses. So you don't know what's happening in the back office.
Yeah, that's true.
Totally. Yep. Because if you make an agreement with another country, it's not like, oh, Canada gives us in a in a discount price we are gonna get from Canada.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And I think it's all part of the negotiations that each country does.
yeah. Well, we need better people in charge to make these deals.
Um, yeah, yeah. I guess. Yeah, but it cannot change so drastically,
Yeah,
in my
I agree.
opinion, because it's a business.
You
Yeah.
know,
What you have to offer.
Go ahead, coffee.
I was just gonna say Warren Buffett one time said that he said, "Hey, all that could be solved." He said the GDP could go away. He said all you have to
Yeah.
do is just tell everybody. You know what I mean? He's like, if it's like 3% over GDP, guess what? Y'all are getting fired at the end of the year or whatever. When re-election time comes up, you just won't get reelected. I mean, just the
Yeah.
thing is, people just won't do that. I mean, just so
If the debt goes over the GDP, is that right?
right.
If
Yeah,
they spend too
exactly.
much, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, he was just like, hey, if it gets like 3% over, I mean, that's
Yeah.
what he was just like. So much stuff could be solved. He said the people have the, but it's just, I knew what he was getting to. He was just like, hey, they just ain't going to.
They'd
Anyway,
rather just tax us. It's a lot easier.
basically. And people ain't going to vote people out. So,
It's hard to vote people out, really. Well, it's hard to
yeah,
get
well,
anybody any
Yeah.
good to replace them. That's the thing.
that's true too. Yeah.
But whatever. S is hitting the fan down there, though, eh? I see a lot of news reports. I think it's good, but a lot of people are upsetty spaghetti down there, eh? In the States, right?
Ah. I mean, it is what I mean. I just tell people I'm just waiting for things to calm down. Trump's got to come in and get all this shit stirred up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, this happened last time, so.
Yeah. Everybody's butt hurt.
Oh yeah, it is. So
It's wild. Well, if you're a trend trader, then it's great for the markets. You're going to be getting lots of movement.
oh, that's what I don't know if I posted in here or there yesterday. I said about a day or two ago. I said, well, hey, at least there's volatility back. There's plenty of volatility now.
That yeah, you got 4 years. Just counting on that. You're only
But
one. I said this on Reddit. I think people are saying about the volatility. I said you're only one tweet away from hitting your stop. But yeah, it's been pretty volatile. Do you think we're gonna Do you think we're gonna head higher here?
well,
Coffee?
dude, don't get me to lying to you. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. You're just a trader. We're kind of
Well,
hovering
dude,
around
I've
50s.
actually had my stuff turned off quite a while. I caught that going up at right around midnight because I've been up for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So I caught a very good trade way early on. So I'm pretty much done for the day. You might as well say.
20.
I ain't like some other people. You know what I mean, dude? Well, I don't know. You seem pretty disciplined for what I can tell. You know what I mean? I don't know anybody else in this room, but I know like the other room. Yeah, hell, some of them guys they'll sit there all damn day. You know what I mean? And they it's like they win some, get back, win some, get back, or try to lose some and then try to get back
Oh,
green. And I'm just like, hey, when you make some money, just leave it alone. I'm just like Gundy on that. It's like, hey, I agree with him because that's what he was just like. Him and me had the same thought process ever since the beginning on that. Where it's like, hey, you make $200 a day. I mean, by the end of the year, it adds up to this. Well, by the time you have X number of accounts, I mean,
yeah.
no, you might not be rich, but guess what? You damn sure making a living. And would I rather make a living doing this than doing, you know what I mean? Yeah, I would much rather make a living doing this. Now, like I tell people, I say, hey, if the market gives me $1,000 that day, you know what I mean? Hey, I'll take $1,000. Market gives me $2,000, I'll take $2,000. I ain't gonna turn it away. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna try to at least shoot for something. And that way, if I shut it down at the end of the day, or I do not feel comfortable with the day, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna complain. You know what I mean? To me, and I've had people say, "Oh, you shoot way too small." No, you need to
Yeah.
have like a work-life balance. You know what I mean? Just anyway.
Yeah, it's the difference between a gambler mindset and a business mindset. If you go at it like a business, then it's a little different. So I'm with you on that. Like my targets aren't very big. It's 30 ticks a week. I think I'm up to 55 now, but this week. That's but once I hit 30, then I'm okay. Then I'm content. I don't gotta
Oh
sit
yeah,
there
dude.
and stress. You know what I mean?
I've quite literally went in these discords before, and people laugh at me, and then I've have somebody come back and go, "Hey, you know what? I tried that. You're right." You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I told people, I said, "You know
Dude.
what? I really just shoot. I just shoot to make like $200, $300. Now I want to make a lot more. You know what I mean? Don't wrong. But if I make that, per account, mind you,
Yeah.
am I going to complain? No. Hey, I made money that day. I said, I just know what I look at it as what it's going to add up to over time. So if I have a day where I make $1,000, well, hey, that's even better, because anyway, you know what I mean? It just,
Yeah. I always.
and people don't look at it that way. You have too many guys to me that talking about, they want to jump in and instead of just taking the 200 or 300 or $500 or whatever they made, and they just keep going in and out all day. Like over
Yeah.
you have a lot of them there that to me they go in and out all day, and then it's like you end up giving back most of what you got. Why?
That's crazy.
So
That's
hold on, let
crazy.
me open the front door and let this damn dog out. Yeah, because to me, that's what I was telling Duke. I said, I was talking about you. I was like, hell, for him to be so young, I says, well, you're not that young, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean. I said, he is very, very disciplined. You know what I mean? I said, you just don't see that often to me. I just said he has set goals. I said, it seems like he stays with them. I said, I'm just shocked. I said, because because I've went into so many of these discords that to me were just very much thrown together. And you
Yeah.
could tell they were very much thrown together, you know what I mean? And fall apart very quickly too. And most time those, I don't even speak in them or I don't even talk. I'll just lurk for like 2 or 4 days to see what's going on.
Yeah.
So, because
It's
most of them were going to be just like this one right here. You have a lot of people that will jump in and you never really see them again because most people, all they really want for you just to give them something. You know what I mean? To say, oh, okay, here's this call out or here's that, wherever.
yeah.
I mean, anyway.
And I think I've only ever heard from a couple people. You, holy moly, and then that other guy yesterday who I invited. But yeah, like nobody
Yeah.
said anything. I guess maybe they're not up, or I don't know. I guess it's not traditional. I mean, the way I do this one, it's not like the other ones where I'm putting up analysis. I'm saying, oh, you could try
Well,
this, you could try
and
that.
a lot
So
of it too is you're one of the first people I run into that to some degree are up and trading at least close to when usually I am trading. You know what I'm
yeah,
talking about? So hey, that's another reason why, because that's a lot like there was a guy on YouTube. I don't know if you see him or not. You should go watch it. I think it's funny as could be. It's called Slade. It's Trades by Slade. I
okay,
would watch him a lot of times, and I was really watching it just as a podcast because I kind of thought it was funny because he's new, and you can tell all he uses, and I do mean all he uses, is just trend lines, and that's it.
yeah,
No supporters. No, nothing. But he does make money. So guess what? He has people following him, and buddy, he pushes them promo codes like you know tomorrow. You
yeah,
know, but I always thought it was so funny because you could tell when real people get in there going like, hey, if you would have put up like this or put that up, you could have seen this coming. You know what I mean? Because you're not using nothing but trend lines.
yeah.
I just think it's anyway.
It's funny. Yeah, there's a girl on there that does
Exactly.
that too. Her name's Tori
Because
Trades.
I offered him my stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because he uses. I mean, I said, dude, I will give it to you. Yeah, he just because I joined his Discord. I didn't stay maybe. I don't know, maybe 2, 3 weeks, something like that. But I would just turn him on because he would trade London. So he was on when I was on. So I would
yeah,
just have it on for somebody in the background, just, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But I just always thought so funny because, anyway.
Pushing the promo codes. I mean, that's the thing you gotta watch too, right?
Well, there was times where, you know what I mean, if you got a good probably like this morning, I'm sure he probably made money. You know what I mean, because, you had this morning, right? Well, I don't know, around about 2 o'clock session, about finna say midnight, basically, hell, all it did was pretty much go straight up. You know what I mean? Momentum just carried it and it went. I said, so it was kind of hard to lose there if you got in,
Well,
at halfway decent spot. But anyway,
the cool thing about trend lines, because I've looked into strategies that are just basically trend lines. The cool thing is if you always have them on there and you're always drawing them, you'll always
mhm.
be in position to hit the big moves. You'll never
Right,
miss
right,
one because
right.
it's gonna go one way or the other. It might chop you up a couple
And I
times.
mean, he does the stuff. If he loses, he loses. I mean, he does it all right there in front of you. You go, so I give him props for that. It ain't
Yeah.
like he hides anything. And I mean, he's popped accounts, and he'll straight up just be like, "Oh, hey, it is what it is," you know. But that he'll tell you that is all he uses now. Because I offered him, I was like, "Dude, I said I'm not trying to charge you nothing. I'm not trying to sell it." Nothing. I said, dude, I'll give it to the people in your Discord. And
Order
there's people
submitted.
in there because I
Order
was typing
submitted.
it over in that live chat or wherever you're talking about, on YouTube. And there's people on there, oh, yeah, you should put him on, because I was in his Discord. They was like, oh, you should. But no, he didn't. You know what I mean? I took it as he was one of those kind of people that's like, hey, that takes attention away from me.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, I just left it alone. I don't push stuff like that. I was like, hey, if they're receptive, they're receptive. If they're not, fine. I'm not, it is what it is.
Order
So,
filled.
I just got that NQ. That was a really good trade. Yeah. Good. I just had 2 trades today so far. I think gold and Q, both winners. Yeah, I don't know. You see, I know I appreciate what you say. I like about me about being disciplined and stuff. Yeah, it just makes me feel good, especially from a veteran like you.
Oh yeah, dude. I
I
would,
appreciate it.
or I've thought about saying, like, hey, because I know if I tell Gundy, he would send you an invite. Talking about, but the only problem is he's going to charge you to get in his room. You know, he
Yeah.
does that on purpose because he don't want just anybody there. You know what I'm talking about? So I mean, he does like a one-time charge, and that's it. It ain't like monthly or anything like that. I mean, and overall, I don't
Oh,
think the cost is all that bad.
what's
I
he?
mean,
What does he want? I'm not against paying for stuff if
dude,
it's
that
good.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't know. He charged me, I think, like 350.
Yeah.
Uh, and to me, for a one-time charge, knowing you're stepping into a room where it's like 20 something people usually there just about every day, I'm talking about, the only thing is you have so many different, because, and just like this place is, I shut up when you're trading. When Gundy comes on, usually he's gonna come on in the morning. Now he'll hang out some during the day, uh, but to me, he don't stay on the way he used to. I'll put it that way. I said, so he'll come on in the morning, like at around 8:30, maybe sometimes an hour or so before. He'll hang out till maybe 10, 9, 10 o'clock, where he'll usually get done. Now he might hang out and just sit there and talk, but most time he's not trading. But there is other people there, but now a lot of people there are ICT people. You know what I'm talking about? Willis isn't, he's book map. Some of them are book map folks. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And like when Gundy gets off, then yeah, but like I mean, to me, it's just being nice. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, this is your house. When he comes on, I'm just shutting up and letting him do his call outs. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that. You know, I said, and a lot of times in the afternoon, because I'm not there in the afternoon, a lot of times Willis will hang out in the afternoon. What was it? Uh, he will get on and off a voice. You know what I mean? All that kind of stuff, and he is there most of the day. But now he also does that for a living too. He has a business, but he lives like I think in Minnesota or some kind of stupid shit like that. So this time of year he can't do because his business is a lot landscaping. But
Oh,
he's
okay.
just a
Yep.
boss. He has other people that does it. Talking about, I think, but well, you get what I mean. So this time of year he's not doing it. So
Yeah.
this is how he supplements his income. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And hell, he's been doing it for quite a long time. But what was it? Yeah, that was the only reason because I didn't know what your plans were for your room. So I was like, well, I don't know if I want to suggest that. Talking about, because I got a Discord too, but I tell most of what I use mine for is that way if I need to show somebody something, I can just invite them in and put them in voice. Go, okay, look, this is how this
Oh.
works. Showing them like my indicator stuff. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah,
Yeah.
other than that,
I really don't know what my plans are for this so far. It's just I don't know. It's something that I've been interested in doing for a while, but I never felt like I had something that I was worth doing this
right?
for until
Yeah.
not too long ago. So I'm not
Yeah,
really.
dude. No,
I don't know.
the only reason I even is because I just tell people I said when you're sitting here all day by yourself, it gets
Yeah.
old. Most time by the time Gundy and them get started, usually I'm done. I'm done for the day. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? So I'm just there listening because hey, I enjoy it. To me, it's a chance to. Cause I tell people I know enough already, but if I can learn something new in 5 or 10 minutes out of that, to me that's priceless. You know what I mean? That to me is worth more than, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. And I guess probably that's where I'm. I invited that guy yesterday. What do you think of him? He's an older guy, but
I, I'll keep my opinion to myself on that.
oh, okay.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, like I've shared my code with you freely. You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
and because the way I look at it, guess what? It's a drop in the bucket, okay? Unless you're willing to write a freaking book, you know what I mean, and like, dude, come on, man. I get what he means yesterday when he was saying, because to me, my code is sort of my baby. Okay. I understand you want to protect it, but if
Oh
you
yeah.
do you really think you're going to go, oh, you know what? If you made that kind of money off of it, that's why I just say, hey, I offer it freely. I'm not trying to charge you anything or anything like that. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's enough a learning curve and there's so much. I tell you, it's really just a drop in the ocean. Come on, really? I mean, just
Yeah, I see what you're
you
saying.
to me, you can do what he was talking about doing. That's why I told him. I said, hey, he was like, well, people have time and everything, and that's why I text back and said, hey, cut them checks. You be surprised how people open up their time when that money starts flowing in. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, that's just the way it works. That's the way it works out here in the real world, dude. I wrote that guy that you was talking about this morning, that ninjacator guy, wherever
yeah.
I joined his Discord, wrote him because I don't think this guy that I got right now is going to pan out. Um, so I turned around, wrote him, and cause I told him, I said, hey, dude, DM me back, cause I was like, I got some stuff I need to try to move over. I said, and we need to talk, blah, blah, blah.
That guy Yuri
So,
from Ninja Yuri
yep.
from Ninja. Okay,
Well,
yeah,
it's a guy called Boss Man. It was the guy that's over that Discord. You know what I'm talking about? But there's not that very many people in his Discord. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
So I think the only people that really go there is people that are actually really wanting work done. Maybe I put it that way. At
yeah,
least everything I was reading on there, that's pretty much what it was. You know, so because I went there and looked, and I was just like, look, dude, from what I can tell, the dynamic zigzag you already have would work excellent as a base for what I'm wanting to do with my pivot. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I didn't know he
So
had a Discord.
yeah, well, when you go to his website, you know what I mean, it has links
Yeah,
for his Discord, it has links for his
we used to use Skype back in the day. He must have started it
yeah,
on
well, I
Skype.
won't say it has like 4 or 5 different links on how you get a hold of him.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that dude Boss Man is actually him or if it's somebody else that just represents him. See what I mean? So
Yeah,
anyway, but yeah, that's what. So I figure that he'll probably message me back either today or Monday. you know. But yeah, dude, to me, that's just I mean, I get what the guy's saying, but
intellectual property, right? But I mean,
well,
yeah,
yeah, and that's why I just told him. I said, dude, just give him to sign up. I was like, what? I said, most of those guys are making, to them, that's just another indicator. You know how many indicators I've ever had made,
yeah,
and and that's never went.
and
That's just to them. That's another day at work.
and let's be
Guess
real.
what?
Like
That's just
any indicator, we're gonna make him, you, or I. Like, there's another version of it out there. I mean, your
pretty much,
zigzag,
yeah.
whatever. I
Yep.
mean, there's
Yep.
there's something
Dude, even
basically
look,
the same.
I
One
don't
way.
know that I sent it to you, but I even sent one to in what you call it, Gundy's room. I sent one out. That's a guy, and the guy even I might have told you, uh, he pretty much made what to me was the beginning stages of the flux. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
But he's still real, real, real early. You know what I'm talking about? He still has got a lot of stuff to figure out. And I even messaged him in Trading View through their little forum thing, direct messaged him, but he never did message me back. You know what I mean? And because I was like, hey, I'll help him out, but he never did write me back. So I was like, oh, okay, well, whatever.
yeah,
I mean, but what was it? Yeah, I mean, because I'll give people because I'm like, oh man, hey, look, his approach is a little different than mine. You know what I mean? But I see what he's working toward, and to me, he's trying to work toward the same thing.
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, there's only so much data you can pull from, right? I mean, this.
Right, exactly. Well, see, and even like mine, that flux that I tell people, I said, trust me, I'm shocked it works as well as it does because you really realize OI data you cannot get to the end of the day. You know what I mean? Now, I think like on crypto, you can get it through the brokerage. Well, it depends on who your brokerage is, but that's only because that's so new. You know what I mean? But like
Yeah,
all the old stuff, I don't think you can get that. I don't know. You may be able to get gold or something like that because it's so global, but like, all the other stuff, no, you can't get it to the end of the day. And that's just because that's the way it's always been. So they're just nobody's going to change it. So all you can really do is try to mimic it, which I said I was shocked that it works as well as it does to mimik it, to tell you the truth. But anyway, Yeah, but you're right. I mean, it's just, but to me, I tell people you have to come up with stuff like that now to make it. It's not as easy as saying, here, let me just use RSI or let me, or whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's why I just thought it was kind of funny whenever cause I thought about messaging you and telling you, hey, I just kind of watched my six with this guy. You know what I'm talking about? Because to me, he was talking big, but I'm just like, hey, really? Guess what? I've offered my stuff totally free. You
Yeah.
know,
I was
and
wondering.
there's even been people that's I've signed up and they've looked at it, but I tell people even then, I said, I tell people you really have to sit down and spend time with it. You know what I'm talking about? So if you don't have it on your chart and you're just sort of watching it, even if you use your system to have it in the background watching it, and you start really realizing what all it can do, then yeah. But otherwise, you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just,
I got it up.
I
But
mean,
yeah, I kind of I see what you're saying, and I think you make a really good point about everybody thinks they got like the secret sauce. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I got
yeah,
this
yeah,
indicator. Don't want anybody to take it. But there's two
right,
really good points. One is you got to learn how to use the darn thing. It's got to make sense to you in your head when you're watching the
exactly.
charts. And then the other thing is these guys see all this stuff. Like they don't know, oh, this one's the golden one. They're just coders. They're just whatever. That's what you want.
Right. Those guys are just
Yeah.
doing a job. And I tell people it makes it better if, to me, you're working with somebody like that guy right there we were just talking about. You know what I mean? Because he does. I figure he does do some trading too.
He does.
Otherwise, he would not be as good as he is. To me, you need that. You need to bring that knowledge in, not with just code knowledge. Because
Yeah.
to me, that way you're. Because to me, I tell people you have to be able to let that coder, you have to give them some liberties. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To some degree. I mean, to me, it's almost like you go to a doctor and they go cutting you open, they find something in there and they go, oh, hold on, we wouldn't plan on this. You know what I'm saying? So then the doctor just has to take
Yeah.
the liberty to go, I'm doing what is the best thing for this patient. You know what I mean? You know, because they ain't gonna just sew your ass up and then wait for you to wake up and go, what do you think? you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
but come on, let's face it, how often does that happen? You know what I'm talking about? It ain't like that kind of stuff happens all that
No.
often.
But you're right.
I says, but I also just tell them because I just let them know that hey, you have to give them. So I tell them, I say, hey, if you see something that would work as a filter and would work better than what and to me, that's when you find out how good of a coder you have, because a good one will say, okay, I did it your way, but look at this too. You know what I mean? I threw this in to act as a filter because, yeah, okay, you were using the Dotchan channel or whatever. Why decide to use this over here? You know what I mean? Just look at it and see what you think. You know what I'm talking about? Because I tell people, someone like that, come on, especially, because if you do this enough, I tell you, code ain't as hard as you think to some degree. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But anyway, it's those kind of things to me will make me come back to you and come back to you and come back to you as a customer. It just shows me you care about me and what I'm trying to do. Maybe I should put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So yeah, hopefully you can get talk to that guy Yuri. He's a really nice guy, and he makes his own
yeah, well, like
thought
I said,
about his strategies.
I figure that dude will mess me back and on because I looked. He had a YouTube video on that zigzag he
Yeah.
made,
Yeah. Yeah.
and everything I'm seeing from it, it won't take that much to drop in the Dotchan channel. You know what I mean? There's just a few things to me you would have to do to alter it, and you pretty much would have it working exactly like because it already has ATR built in. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It already has. There's because it's so customizable. He made it where it's so customizable. So I said, hell, I said he's already got it to where to me it wouldn't take that much. You know what I mean? So then it just breaks down
Yeah.
just to sit there and say, okay, dude, this is what I want. You know what I mean? Because then it just breaks down to the little niceties of, okay, this is what TradeView can do, and this is what Ninja Trader do. You know what I mean? Okay, I might not can put you know, and the level of the coder. It might be where, oh, okay, I can't put a triangle wherever on the next candle, but I can put it on the same candle as the vertical line or stupid
Yeah.
junk like that. You
No,
know
he
what I mean?
knows,
That's
and
where
his
to me it's just.
His prices may have gone up, but they're really reasonable. They're really like
Well, and that's why I was saying too.
reasonable.
A lot of people just look at it as like, okay, we already have that code written. You know what I mean? So now all I got to do is drop this and this and this in, and I can be done in an hour or whatever. Because to me, somebody that has that level, as much as I like working with new people and trying to help new people, usually it always just burns me. You know what I mean? I said, so to
Yeah,
me, it's better just to go somebody that knows what they're doing and just pay the price. Okay, that's why to me, like when that guy was saying yesterday, because I was like, if you honestly believe you're gonna make that kind of money selling it, you know, why hadn't you went on to somebody like that? You know what I mean? Because Ninja Trader has an ecosystem. I've looked, where they will literally hook you up with those people. They will set it all up where
yeah,
you can sell it through the ecosystem, and nobody will ever see the code. Guess what? It'll be hidden. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you want to go, but guess what? That's going to take a pretty good investment, and do you have enough faith in your system, you know what I mean, to know that you're going to recoup that investment? That's
yeah,
why I told you, to me, I look at it as just R&D cost. I just have a set amount every year that I just think, okay, you know what, this much is going to get spent to do what I need to do to try to work on indicators or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, and that's what I do. To me, it's part of it. And I'm shocked at the number of people that are just like, oh no, I wouldn't, you know, I mean, especially, and hell, a lot of them got, that's like, what's his name? 270, shit, he damn sure got 10 times more money than me. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And he acts like if he has to give up a penny, he's gonna die. Just because that's where the flow come from. Because I mean, the flux come from because and then he like it. Now I was like, dude, really? I was like, anyway,
yeah. I don't know. There are ways to hide it, so you can just like put stuff in the code for
yeah.
Ninja.
But I mean,
But there's also other ways. Like the indicators I have, it's actually like a thing you download. So I don't even import it
right.
as a Ninja script. It's like this whole program on your computer, and you got to download it in. And I think that's how he protects his code. But even still, with the ones that are protected, I can bring it up in a program, and I can see most of the code.
Well, dude, that's like I bet I was it correct. I that's like I've been looking in the ecosystem more the last couple of days. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say.
Yep.
Um, and I don't like it because to me, I would rather just be able where I can just pull it up and just look at stuff. You know what I mean? Instead of go, oh, let me search for this or let me search for that, or oh, it should be under, it should be under technical, but it might be over here under this.
It's really
And then a
not
lot of
though.
times, yeah, I
Yeah.
said, and then a lot of times all you're going to do is click and it's going to take you to that person's website. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I said, and so then it's like, oh, okay, do you want to check out? And then depending upon how well they do with their website, because I don't necessarily know that I have a problem doing it, but I will give that dude indicators credit. He has a lot of detail, and he'll have like YouTube videos, all that kind of stuff on that one indicator page to what I consider give you enough information to where you think you're making an informed decision. I'll
Oh
put it that way
yeah.
when it
Yeah.
comes to buying. That's the best way I know how to put it. Where some of those websites I went to where hell they might have like one picture up there and go, okay, yeah, this is great. Spend $200. It's like what? Just anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that dude, I was watching a lot of his YouTube videos, and he'd go in there and he'd go through like setting by setting, go, okay, this is what this does, this is what this does, this is how this works. You know what I mean? And show you on the screen, okay, this is what this means, blah blah blah. And to me, I don't mind dropping, $200-300 to buy indicator or whatever for
Yeah.
somebody like that, because at least to me, I feel like that person got my back. Maybe I should put it that way.
Yeah. I should
So,
check him out on YouTube. It's been a while. I know he didn't really have anything back. I probably used him like five,
well,
six
you have
years
to
ago.
realize I only looked like yesterday,
Oh, okay.
so I can't remember when his last one he uploaded, but most of his stuff that is on there, I can't remember if any of it is really about trading. I won't say I think he does have some, but most of it is strictly about just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Either, learning Ninja script, you know, his indicator stuff, what I consider general stuff to push your Discord or your business. Maybe I should put it
Yeah.
that way. I mean, so anyway,
What what did you hit this morning? Did you hit ES or NQ?
NQ.
I just want to go on there and look. And is the data different on the micros? Should I bring up the minis? I'll bring up the minis.
No, I don't think the difference is the price. You're looking at the same. Only
I
difference
don't
is
know.
that ticker symbol, because
Okay.
everything is the same. The only thing different is the money you're trading.
Well, sometimes
Uh,
like the contracts are different though. Like on the micros.
well, yeah, but that's why the price is. I know what
Yeah.
you mean, but yeah, because you're trade what, like fraction of ticks or some kind of
Yeah,
stupid
but
shit
if you're
like
looking
that.
at delta, it'd be a little different sometimes. I don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
but
Dude,
yeah,
that's just like I tried one time with really just for fun, where they do like the micro shares or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
oh, the
Oh
fractional
yeah, that
shares.
was yeah, that
Yeah.
was to me just silliness. But I did. I said I want to try it once, just to try it. So it's like, oh, I'm buying like 1/10 or whatever of a forward share. That was 2 or 3 or 4 years ago. I thought it was funny though. I just bought it and just put it in there just to see what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm just curious. I was like, so I just put it in there. I was like, what? But yeah, I mean, if it goes up like, I think it went up. I think I might have made what about $5 or $10 something one day, and I just said hell with it. I just sold it. But I
Yeah.
just put it in because a lot of times I do stuff like that just to learn. I'm just like, you know what? I'll just throw a few bucks in there and just say, what the heck, So
Yeah. It's good. I don't know. Like I don't know what Amazon is now, but back in the day, like it used to be like $1,200 a share. Like you couldn't even buy one share. So the fractionals were good for some people. If
yeah,
they wanted to put
yeah,
in, if it's just the average man, he wants to invest $50 a month or a week into Amazon, he can do it.
yeah. And I tell people, I say, ain't that amazing? That's because I remember when that stock come out, it was on like $2.
Oh wow!
Oh.
I saw somebody post on Reddit there. He's like, "Oh, finally a millionaire." He bought that stock called PLTR, Plant Air. I think it's some
Hmm.
tech stock. I don't even know. He bought it at $8 a share, and it's up to like 85 now, and they're projecting like 120. It's like a tech stock kind of thing. And Buddy
Well,
bought.
dude, that was like, what was it? Because there were people that talking about how they bought, like when Amazon come out, they bought like maybe 10 shares or whatever. You know what I mean? Or just
Yeah,
something silly, buying it for their kid or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
And bought a couple of different companies. You know what I'm talking about? That just happened to be one of them. They didn't think that nothing of it. You know what I mean? At that time, it was just maybe $100 or whatever. I said, and now they was talking like it was worth, and the kid was able to buy a house or something like that. I
yeah.
mean, I just thought it was funny. I was like, oh my Lord. I mean,
Stuff
because
like
they
that.
didn't think nothing of it. It was just something where some mom or dad was doing it, saying, "Hey, I'm doing this just to teach my kid how
Yeah.
to invest or something silly." But
There's a story about Bitcoin. Have you ever heard it? About
oh,
the
I've heard
guy
a couple of them. Lay it on me.
about the guy buying pizza with Bitcoin.
Yes, I have heard that one. I had one now. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard one saying a guy was writing his college, I guess, thesis letter or paper or whatever, like end of the year paper,
Yeah.
talking about how that was supposed to be the new form of money back when it was just coming out. So he bought like $25 worth just for just fun,
And it
you
was like
know.
what 100 coins or 200 coins or something.
Yeah, and like a couple years later when it hit, and I guess by the time he remembered, oh hey, you know,
Oh,
he was like,
he lost it. Did he lose it?
no, 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 he had it, but I'm just
Oh,
saying, he had actually just forgot all about it. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
oh,
And then a couple years later, he was just reading, and it was in the paper talking about how, oh my God, Bitcoin's up to this, and he was like, whoa, what? You know, I just anyway, I just thought
that's funny.
that this stuff like that's just
Yeah,
like what was that coin? There was some I can't remember which one it was, but a while back there was some coin that buddy it was being pushed hard. And this was quite a while back now because this was not like the Hawk 2 coin or anything. This wouldn't didn't have anything. You know what I mean? It
yeah,
was
yeah,
like sometimes after Dodge or whatever. But some coin they was thinking, oh, this is going, and it's going to make everybody super rich and blah 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 and all kind of stuff and everything. And this before people realize, you got
Shiba
kids now
Inu.
making. I think that was it. I
It's
think that was it. And they was
yeah.
talking about some dude who had bought like 8,000 something dollars worth, or something silly like that by accident. He bought it by accident, not even knowing, and
Oh,
it made him like this multi-millionaire or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, just I'm like, oh my god.
I actually bought that Shiba Inu. It's a dog.
Yeah,
So
because
I
I
have
want to say
some
it had a
now.
dog too. I want to say it
Yep.
had a dog on
It
it
was
too.
a
Yep.
play off a
But
dog.
I was like, I know it ain't Dodge. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that because boy, that everybody seemed like they were pushing that so hard.
I made some money on it. I
And
think I put $300 in. I come out with 1,000 after like a year or
okay,
something. I did all right. I think the thing about Shiba Inu, I know I would never do crypto really a lot, but it burns like so every time somebody does a transaction, a couple of coins burn and they disappear, and they never come
right,
back. So the supply is always shrinking, and they have the supply started at like 5 trillion or 15 trillion, like a ridiculous amount of coins. But every time you use it, the supply shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. So it's got like negative inflation built into it. So if
yeah.
you hold it for
Well, I
10 or
know.
15 years, there's not going to be a lot of it left. It'll be expensive.
Yeah, I know, dude. That's like Gundy. Gundy, he shields that shit on Mar. You know what I'm talking about? I love him to death. But
Yeah.
he will go make a coin. You know what I'm talking about? And
Wow.
pump. Now he will. He does keep it legit. Okay, because he's doing one right now called Only Dads. I don't know if it's went public yet. You know what I'm talking about? You can look it up. Yeah, it's called Only Dads.
This guy's
I
funny,
think
man.
it's funny as hell. I do. I think it's funny. And I told him, I said, I ain't buying none of that. I said, dude,
Uh,
and he tells everybody, he was like, look, just put $20 in, put $50. He says,
yeah.
whatever you're comfortable with. He said, this is not, he said, this is just for fun. You know what I'm talking about? Because this is the first one he's tried making. So he just wanted to do it just because I think it cost him almost $1,000 just to make the coin. Because he had to get people in, knew what they were doing. He didn't know how to do. Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just threw me in there he just said, hey, I just want to try it. Yeah, so he's actually been,
Wow.
what I mean? I think it's so funny because I was just told he was like, oh, and he was asking all this, come join this Discord, all that kind of stuff, and everything. And I was like, I don't care about joining. He's like, come on, man. So I joined Discord. I ain't been back there since then.
Yeah.
I was just like, anyway.
I looked into making a coin. I don't know, it's too much effort for me, but it was just an interesting idea.
Yeah, cause back you remember back when like SHIB come out, that was before people knew as much as they know now, where
Yeah.
you basically got teenagers making coins now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Row pulling people. I said back then it wasn't quite the same. People just did not know as much as they know now. And then everybody thought, SHIB was finna run the same way as I just remember that. Because I remember them saying that the guy who made the most money was somebody who bought he was actually trying to buy a whole other coin and bought it by accident. You know what I mean? And didn't even realize he bought the wrong one. And I
Wow.
don't even know if that story's true, but I don't doubt it. You know, I mean,
I've heard of people
anyway.
losing it, like that story you said, where the buddy he buys a bunch of it and forgets about it and realizes it's worth money, and he's got it
Yeah, yeah,
on some thumb drive somewhere. He can't find it, or he doesn't know his code, his seed
right,
to get it,
exactly.
and he's just like, yeah, just screwed.
Yep, that's it. Right.
Oh well.
Yeah, that's why I don't. And that's why I told Gundy, I was like, look, dude, I did my time in the OTC. I had my Wild West days. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
I
A
was
lot of
like,
sketchy shit.
to me, that's all, these coins are now. I said, because it was like, I turned around and told, because some of the guys asked me, what do you think about that? And I was like, hey, look, if you want to go support him, I says, you know what I mean? You want to do that? I says, if you want to throw, however much you feel comfortable throwing in there, you know what I mean? Just like he says, throw it in there. What's going to hurt? Just know
20
going
bucks,
in that,
whatever.
right. I was saying, you just know going in that you don't really know exactly what's going to happen. I said, but I'd give him credit. He was like, oh, okay, we're locking down this much, blah, 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 blah. But it's like I told him, I said, man, have you read some of them white papers? Some of the white papers read like them guys was high, because they think, that coin's going to save the world,
Oh
and I
yeah.
just told people, I said, guess what? Most of those coins are never going to be Bitcoin. I said, because that is basically the universal coin, for lack of a better word. To
Yeah.
me, the only thing that even comes close is ETH. You
Yeah.
know, I says I said just nothing else is really it's not going to be as widely adopted, or I don't think it will be. So that's why I don't look into that stuff or get into it. Me personally, I'm just like, nah. So
That was always kind of the thing for me was like getting a wallet and having it secure. Like I never really knew where to go or what website, and I heard about places getting hacked and stuff. That's why I never got into it too much. My only experience with
yeah, oh, dude, I've got into arguments with people before because I
oh
told them, I says, you realize that, I said that stuff. Oh, one guy turned around, he took me. I give him credit. He threw it back in my face because I turned around and told him, I said, dude, I said, you realize, I said, those brokers are not even FDIC insured, right?
yeah.
You know, and he was like, well, he said, guess what? Futures ain't FDIC insured either.
Oh
I says, yeah, but guess what? I said, if I buy a contract of corn, there's going to be a certain date where a shipment of corn is going to show up. You know what I mean? It's not FDI insured because you're buying a product.
yeah.
See what I mean? That's the whole idea. I said, futures was not meant to be what it is now. What it
No.
was meant to be is somebody like General Mills or somebody where a business could go and say, hey, I want to lock the price in of my grains or wheat or whatever so I can plan out for 3 months from now what it's going to cost to make this shit.
Yeah.
You know, I told him, I said, dude, I said, it's not like where that coin is essentially imaginary money. You know, I says there you're actually getting a tradable good. You know what I mean? At the end of
Yeah.
the day, I said, thing is the way people trade it now, well, most of them don't want that tradable good. They just want to trade the contract and make money off of it. You know what I mean? The difference of anyway.
Yeah.
That's
Instead of
just like people where guys would during options and people would say, "Oh, well, I'm just going," and I was like, "No, I don't want to take delivery." I said, "I don't want to get assigned no, I was like, "All I'm trying to do is trade the paper and make money off the paper." I was like,
yeah.
I don't want own no stock. I don't want to sell no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Futures have just turned into just a game, just a video game, basically, eh?
pretty much,
At
yeah,
least
yeah.
that's
That's
what.
why he was like, "Yeah, well," and I was like, "Yeah, you're right, but dude, there's a big difference."
Yeah. Futures are real.
I said, why do you think they're always rolling before delivery dates? I said, usually like a good 2 weeks or so before delivery dates, most brokers are gonna auto roll you. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they know, you know what I mean? You do not want to get caught. Most time if you're holding it after delivery, by then volume's died. You know what I mean?
Oh
Or
yeah.
or is dying. You know, I said, so if you're holding it, it's because you actually want that, or most people actually want the product. Maybe I should put it that way.
Yeah. Well,
So
there was a time probably you remember not too long ago where they wouldn't auto roll you. You gotta had
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
fucking
yeah.
make sure you
Well,
got.
now back in the day, if you had a good broker, most of them would just do it anyway. They wouldn't, you know what I mean? Or they
Yeah.
would call you and go, "Hey, do you wanna?" I mean, but
We're
anyway,
gonna
I,
be
I tell you,
sending
back then it was
a
done.
bunch of cattle
Yeah,
to your house. You got room for it or
oh,
not?
yeah. I mean, because even back then, like the broker we had, he knew what my dad was gonna say. So shit, most times he
Yeah.
wouldn't call. He'd just do it.
Did you?
I tell people, I said that was just. I mean, because your broker can only handle so many people. There were a shit ton of brokers back then. So I mean, they just got to where they knew you anyway.
Yeah. Did your dad ever take delivery,
No,
or
no,
he
no, no,
just
no.
did it? You just traded?
Only reason he even did it was you got to realize back then that was a way you could keep up with cotton and soybean prices. See what I'm saying? Live market prices. So you would have a better idea what your stuff would sell at. So what you basically did was like what we did was you would turn around, you bring the crop in, and when you brought it in, you could either take it to market then, you know what I'm talking about, you get it processed, sell it to market. I says, and or what you could do is you could what I guess you call leverage it or whatever you want, or you basically was sort of gambling with it. What you would
Okay.
do, and there in the Delta, there was these freaking, I mean, it was quite literally nothing but shitty metal buildings, no lights, no electricity, no nothing. It was just a big, big shed, and they were as far as long as a mile, I could see.
Wow.
And you would have many, 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 many of them because they would make a bale, which would be their idea of the sizing for, cotton. And what they do is you say, okay, well, I'm not happy with the price. Once they process your cotton and put it in the bales, at the gin, you'd say, well, I'm not happy with the price, put it in the, and they had a word for it, but basically it was just storage. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you would send it over there. And I mean, the damn buildings was not all that far away from the gin we used, you know, but now those buildings usually they were big enough that they could serve, say, like within a 50-mile radius or whatever. See what I'm saying? That's why they had to be that big. They were serving all the farmers in the area, you know.
Yeah.
So if the farmer said, "Hey, you know what? Nope, send all my stuff," but here's the problem: you also had to pay a storage fee. See what I mean? So if you say, "Well, I think price is going to go up," what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in storage. Well, okay, if you sell, say, a month later, are you going to make enough off of it because it went up enough to justify paying that storage fee too?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yep.
So it's sort of that's where you go into where like my dad would go because back then normally prices would because it would be seasonal because they go okay it's coming in at this time so guys know people would sell it cheaper. See what I'm saying? And you get a month or 2 months or whatever and then things would sort of dry up some. Talking about price move up. So you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was more seasonal, so he could kind of hedge his bets on what he was going to make and when he was going to make it. If that makes sense. So where
Okay.
now to me
Yeah.
it's not quite that way.
Wow. That's so
But
different.
that was essentially how because all you did basically was call the buyer. Talking about there was a buyer in town. Talking about and you call him and hell, you'd never seen none of the stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
you take your cotton to the gin, they process it, put it in bales, and you will probably never see it again. And you say, oh, put it in storage. Well, it go put in storage somewhere. You never even knew where it was at in storage. Oh, I'm sure you got told, but come on, nobody was going to check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just get put somewhere in some lot somewhere and marked with your name or whatever, and when you decide to sell it, well, guess what? Then you call the buyer and turn around and you'd sell it and he'd buy it and it just got switched over to his name and then wherever he'd ship it to or whatever. Anyway,
Oh yeah. Did you actually now? Did you guys have a farm where you would actually bring cotton there, or did your dad just trade it because he knew the?
no, we had a farm. Yeah,
Yeah.
we that's how we made our money.
Okay. Yeah. You had sheep
That
and
see, that's
whatnot.
what I'm saying. The trading was just something he did on the side, sort of too. See what I
Okay.
mean? That
Yeah.
was something he just did on the side too. Because I can't remember with cotton if it was 3 months or a month or what. I mean, the contracts were pretty long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you knew when to time it, you could make money. So it wasn't like, you were going to go in, drop, so much, and usually it's going to be a pretty good bit of money. And then, at the end of, a month later, wherever you are, or a month and a half or whatever, he going to call the broker back and go, okay, well, what's price? Well, all that kind of stuff. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and sell it, get rid of it. Talking about, I mean, and that had nothing to do with our cotton. That's just where he bought, but
Oh
that was the
yeah.
only thing he. But now, hey, let's say you made $1,000 or you made $2,000 or whatever. Well, back then that was considered a shit ton of money. You know what I mean? Because you got to
Yeah.
realize that was back whenever, like, hell, I don't know, minimum wage was probably like $2, $3, or $4, some stupid shit like that.
Oh, so
I
that's like
mean,
5, 10 grand or something.
yeah, I mean, you're talking about when I was a kid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean,
Oh
that
yeah.
that was a lot of money then.
For
I
sure.
mean, so yeah, I mean, but anyway, um, but it is
So
what it is.
and you would have to call for the prices. You didn't get like a printout or you. see it in the newspaper?
What you could do is you get on the news every morning, and they would do what they call the morning report. You know what I'm talking about,
Oh,
and on the
yeah.
morning report they would give all the prices, and it would be of the main commodities. Normally you would not get all of them; you would only get for whatever's in that area. Of course, you got to remember back then you only had three channels. Yeah, that was like ABC, NBC, and CBS, but they all did
Yeah.
it. Okay, so in other words, like for your morning news come on, usually that was like, I don't know, 5 something in the morning or some silly, you know what I mean? It was early. It was very, very
Yeah.
early. But they do something called the morning report. And basically it was like right before the news or whatever, or the morning news or whatever. And basically that's all it did. They were just like, okay, here's the live prices. And you get them that one time that day, and that was it.
Oh, yeah.
So you didn't keep up no more after that. You know what I'm talking about, and you just ordered a book with the charts for like a year, and it would show them for the month or whatever. It wasn't like it is now. It
Yeah,
wasn't nothing like it is now. Like I said, so, but
Oh, that's
anyway.
interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, he literally would keep a book, and just every morning he'd get up just like clockwork, and he'd get the prices and write them down. And he'd keep up with that and soybeans, and he'd keep up with cattle too. But we never too much traded cattle. You know what I'm talking about? Most of that was just because back then we would buy cows and process them for the meat. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I said that still did happen to some degree back then, but we got away from it. By the time I was probably a teenager, we quit doing it altogether. Was it like we had raised our own chickens for eggs? Well, it just got to the point where it's just so much easier to just go downtown and buy it. Okay, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I mean, but that was all stuff when my dad was growing up. That was very common. You know what I mean? So they just stayed with it. You know what I mean? I said, and the last thing we did was, I don't know. I guess I might have been maybe uh 10, 11, or 12 when we quit doing hogs. Because basically what you do was you fatten up a hog, and you turn around and we kill it, and you get like a big 55-gallon drum, you know what I mean, all metal one, fill it up with water, you get a fire going under it and get it just like boiling hot. You know what I'm talking about? You put the hog in it and
Yeah.
let it go for a little while, and then you take it out because you could literally rub the hair off of it then. You know what I mean? You clean it. And then we do that. And then from there, we didn't process it after that. What we do is we take it to a butcher, you know what I mean? And because I don't know about where you're at, but like here, a lot of times the guy that does that will do several things. So he'll have, not all of them now, but some of them, what they'll do is they'll do like taxidermy
Oh.
if they're, you know what I mean? So in other words, like let's say you kill a deer and you want that deer dressed out. A lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll just take the deer to that processor, and basically he's a butcher and also a taxidermist. You know what I'm talking about? I said, so he's ain't no more. He's gonna charge you to, basically, so you you get him to process the deer meat, if that makes sense.
Yep.
you know, I said, so basically he's charged you for that. And then you turn around and go, hey, you know what? That was a 10 point or whatever. I want to keep the head. Well, guess what? He'll do that right there in house too. You
Oh,
know,
okay. Yep.
I mean, or what happens is he has somebody that can do it for him. See what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that person usually give him a better price because whoever that taxidermist is, he knows that he's giving him steady work. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Order submit. Order
So.
order submitted.
Yeah, but
Order
now
canceled.
that's back then. To me, you didn't see that quite
Order
as much.
submitted.
That to me has got much more popular as I was growing up, where you would
Order
have the
canceled.
taxidermist and the butcher working basically out of
Order
the same
canceled.
place.
Order
Or
Yeah.
canceled.
sometimes, not often, sometimes they would be the same guy. Not very often though. But dude, like going to that school for taxidermy, it ain't like that's a major. I mean, hell, that school's only like, I don't know, a month or 3 months or something silly like that. It's not like it's, oh my God, this is going to take years and years.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Because there was a kid right there where I was at, and he went to school for that. That's all he's done most all his life.
Really?
You know, yeah, Hunter Alderman, he went to school for that. What was it?
Wow.
And he does say he works with a guy that processed. But see, in the same way, to me, it's got to where that's so few places now that do that. It's only going to be like maybe
Order
one or two
submitted.
places in a town where you can take something to get
Order
processed, but
submitted.
they will have the proper equipment where if you
Order
want to do a cow
filled.
or whatever, they can hang it up and let it, sit and age for 14 days or however long it needs to be, all kind of stuff and everything. So used to what we would do, or what I would do, and my father-in-law actually did too, was but we did this at home because a lot of people did. The community college would have a program where they would train butchers. You know what I mean? As like a VOTEC deal.
Oh, yeah.
But the problem was that hell, everybody did it. So they knew. So you had to call and get put on the waiting list, and it would be like 6 months in advance. You know, so what you would do, and usually they would only take one cow from a person. You know what I mean? But when your time come, if you had a cow and it was actually ready for processing, you would turn around and you take it up there to the school, and they would
Order
do it.
submitted.
But
Order
they would do
filled.
it basically dirt cheap, where a butcher would charge you so much per pound or whatever. You know what I mean? The school would do it for practically pennies on the dollar. You know what I mean? I mean, it was
Yeah.
just nothing because they were really doing it just to give the people, the kids experience. Let me put it that way. But they would still, however you wanted to say it, you know what I mean? They would fix pretty much. Now you might go in there and the guy go, hey, we need to try to do, we really like to do a
Stop
few more
filled.
pork chops. You mind if I cut it this way? Yeah, most people ain't gonna give
Stop
you no hard
filled.
time about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's little silly stuff like that, but very, very seldom. I think only one time they ever asked, us if we would mind having something set up a certain way. I can't remember because they wanted the kids to practice something more. Hell, I don't care. Go ahead.
That's
Because I tell
interesting.
you, you don't realize one fully dressed cow, what I'm talking about, will pretty much fill a deep freeze. It makes a lot of meat.
Yeah. Even when I was a kid,
Yeah,
we didn't farm or nothing, but yeah, we'd
right.
buy like a side of beef, just like half a cow or something. And
Yeah,
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 it
yeah.
lasted a while.
And well, see, you have people that still do that here, but I'm the point where, dude, I'm just like, eh. I don't know. Nowadays, you almost wonder what they sticking in them tubes at Walmart, you know. But
Yeah.
back in the day, I mean, hell, you knew it was really, real meat. Maybe I should put it that way. You know, what I mean, it wasn't like it was, So I, anyway,
Yeah.
a lot of the reason why I quit used to I would get, I did a hog, and that's, oh my God, that was years ago, you know, and for whatever reason I went in there, and the butcher was like, oh, and he was like, oh, we're gonna put this much, and I was sitting there going, no, let's cut it back. He was like, oh, you don't want to do that, and that was back when I was younger and stupid, you know what I'm talking about, and
Yep.
I stuck to my guns. I was like, no, I want it this way. Okay, he fixed it the way I wanted. And he told me that day, he was like, here's the problem. It's going to be so dry. You need like so much percentage of fat in with the meat because the
Yeah.
fat acts as a binder to hold it together. And I was getting sausage made. And I had a hog. And oh my God, this is a long time ago.
What? And you didn't
And
want the
what was it?
fat in there?
Well, no, I was trying to get cut back. You know what I mean? And he was like, well, you really need this much percentage. And I
Yeah.
was like, no. And I can't remember what I was wanting to get cut back to. But he was like, dude, I'm telling you, he was like, that's going to be way too much. He said, it's going to literally be falling apart in your pan, when you're making. And I was like, no, 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 no. So he did it. Oh, my dogs eat real good. You know what I mean? Because you would put that sausage patty in your pan. Yeah, it literally would just fall apart. Like, it was just nothing in it to. Yeah, he was right. I was stupid. Because here, if I would have made it like links, it may have been okay, may have. But what
Yeah.
I always liked to do back then was just process it just like you would do have like beef processed. You know what I'm talking about? So you would just make a patty. You know what I'm talking about? I
Yeah.
didn't like where they put in the casing, and everything, make it that way. I did not care for mine done that way. So I would just always have them just make it, and so it's just just like beef.
Yeah.
And I said, that way you just poured it out and you made a sausage patty and put it. Yeah, that was a mistake. 'Cause it ruined all that damn meat. But
That's
now,
funny.
for what it costs, honestly, trying to get a whole cow done, used to you could save money doing it that way, believe it or
Yeah.
not. But I tell people now, for what it costs, hell, it's going to cost you. I mean, you're just about as good as go to freaking Walmart. You're probably still going to spend more money, but I just tell people now, for the hassle of knowing, oh, okay, because, or at least with beef, I tell people, I said, like, a cow, you're going to want to put them on corn for like 2 or 3 weeks before you take them up there to have them butchered, because that pulls that grass. You know what I mean? You know, it pulls that sort of wild taste out of them. You
Yeah.
know, just little things like that. And just I tell people what adds up. It costs money, so
Yeah, it's hardly
we'll
worth it.
still have. But dude, I don't know if there's even anybody around here that does it that much anymore. The school quit several years ago. I think there's one guy in Hasburg that still does it. There was a guy in Waynesboro we went to, but he retired and nobody else around there did it. Um, but a lot of times what we would do is that's what like her dad would say, like, well, hey, if I take it up there, you know, if I do one half, well, y'all do the other half. Basically, like we'll buy half and y'all buy half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll just take I'll take one of my cows up there or whatever. Okay, yeah, I do that. I was like, yeah, I don't care. That's fine. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, so, but yeah, we ain't even done that and till when. So,
Yeah, I've been trying to since I moved to West here. I've been trying to. I had a bit of elk and I liked it, so I'm trying to find somebody during hunting season to sell me an elk, or I'll go hunt one. Because buddy where I work says if you go to northern Saskatchewan, there's a guy up there and he'll dress an elk for $400, and
mm,
they're pretty heavy. They got a lot of meat on them, but they'll fill a freezer. So it'd be
yeah.
worth it. I don't
Well,
know what anybody would sell them to me for, but for
I
something
don't know
else,
what I don't know what a deer would cost. You know what I mean? I ain't never had that done.
yeah,
But dude, there's so many people here. That's what like used to. All I cared about was I didn't eat a whole bunch of deer meat. So like used to back in the day, I'd do like, okay,
yeah,
you know what? I want to get at least one deer. One deer will be pretty much enough for me. You know what I mean? For most time, all I was doing eating it over winter time.
yeah,
But anyway, what was it that'd be enough for what I need? Me and my wife need. You know what was it? But when Wiley was growing up, he was so freaking crazy about hunting. He was wanting to go every day. You're talking about, and I used to get mad, but now he's on up in his 20s, and now he realizes what I was talking about. Because he'd go out, and I was like, I'm telling you, dude, if I hear that gun go off, I'm going to kill you. Because here's the thing, I always had to go help him skin the thing and, you know what I mean, hang it up.
yeah,
I said, so I'm the one, I would end up being the one having to do the work. You know, I said, because he'd get all excited about just wanting to shoot a deer. And, I was like, no, dude, you need to wait and find one that's like really got some, you know what I mean,
yeah,
you know, but he was thinking of it more as sport then, and now as he's got older, he realized, oh, okay, I mean, and he sees because there's younger kids coming up, and they're like, oh, I'll go hunting with you, you know, he sees exactly what. Anyway,
yeah. Just takes a bit of time for the wisdom to
yeah,
come in.
yeah. Well, now because I, if like Jaden or somebody kills one, yeah, guess what? Guess who's going to help dress it out? Him, not me.
Yeah,
I was
there you
like,
go.
no, y'all don't even call me. I was like, don't even call me.
Bring me some meat
I was like,
once you're done.
yeah, well, dude, honestly, we ain't got deer, and you know, uh, hell, I bet probably about 3 years or four
Yeah,
years. Most time, if I do want deer meat, you know what I'm talking about. I can just go over there and get some. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, used to though, he would kill enough that I would just get a whole deer, but I don't got. Why I ain't super big on venison. You know what I mean? A lot of
no,
people really like it. I mean, I think it's okay. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. To each their own.
yeah. Back in Ontario, a lot of people did deer, but out here in Alberta, there's nobody. They call it dirty meat, eh? They like the elk and the buffalo more.
Hmm.
So it's different stuff, but some people eat bear too. That's gamey.
Yeah, dude, I've ate a buffalo too back when I was driving a
Buffalo.
semi, and I
Yeah,
tell people that
that's
was
similar to elk.
altogether different.
Yeah,
I said that was, whew,
you liked it?
huh? I mean, I thought it was okay. Well, here's the thing. What I always like to do that's what pissed me off about people whenever they turn around and you go somewhere like you sit down. Okay, let's sit down and eat steak. And the first thing they do is get a freaking bottle of A1 or Heinz 57 or
Oh,
whatever and cover the thing like and you can't see it no more. I was like, why not? What I always like doing, if I'm eating something like that, and I'm not, especially so like if it's the first time I eat a buffalo or whatever, you know what I mean?
yeah. Salt and
I
pepper.
just like take a bite, I like to take a bite of it, when it comes out and it's cooked. I like to take a bite and just go like, you want to kind of get the what I think of as natural flavor. So, okay, is it gamey? Is it this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you want to add something, I tell people fine. But a lot of people they'll get that stuff, and anyway,
Yeah, I like things that enhance the flavor a little bit, like dry rub,
yeah,
salt and pepper, a couple little
yeah.
things.
But if it's the
It
first time
sucks.
I've ate something like alligator or turtle, like if I'm down in Louisiana or something, like that, I mean, I want to try it because I want to see, okay, is it real like chicken, like they say? Is it, because you hear about what it's supposed to taste like, but it's like,
Yeah. Have you had turtle?
yeah. I mean, to me, I thought it was okay. I've only had it once. I didn't think it was all that.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
alligator. To me, alligator didn't really have no whole lot of taste to it. That's like
Yeah.
catfish. I mean, so many people around here eat catfish, and to me,
Really?
that's why, because it's such a mild fish, it don't really have any flavor to it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So it can kind of take on whatever you put on to it.
Aren't they like
I
bottom
said that's why
feeders though?
people like it.
They call them bottom
They
feeders.
are, but they ain't. It's not like you would. Yeah, you would think that, it tastes nasty or muddy or whatever,
No.
but you have to realize so much of it around here now is what is it? I mean, they literally have areas in the Delta where, as far as you can see, all you can see is just, and they're man-made lakes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That'd be like, say, 10 acres, 12 acres, whatever. And I mean, as far as you see, one after another, after another, after another, because they farm raise them. You know what I mean? I said, so guess what? They're feeding them what they're getting. It's not like in the wild. So I tell people those come out kind of with the same flavor every time. It's not like they have a
Yeah.
anyway. And now that's so prevalent that yeah, that's most times you go somewhere to eat fish, that's what you're getting, and it's at least in the store.
Oh yeah.
Unless you actually go out and catch it, yeah, you're just gonna be getting something that's farm raised. That's just like over in Louisiana. They got farms just for was it crawdads and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Shrimp. I mean, I've seen them. Hell, they just like catfish farms. They just ain't as deep. They're probably only like, I don't know what, maybe 2 feet deep. Catfish farms, you actually step out in them and they'll probably come up to your waist, something
Oh
like
yeah.
that. I guess. Yeah, well, they're pretty deep, not super duper deep, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I tried catfish there a couple of years ago. My uncle was out and we went out fishing and we caught a couple and they're kind of hard to skin, but actually they were pretty good. Like you said, they were pretty mild. They were good. Yeah, I liked it. Just got to figure out how to skin them. I've seen some people online who they'll nail them to a tree and pull the skin off.
Hey, you got big plans for the weekend?
Me?
Yeah.
Not really. We gotta go help my uncle with a couple things, and he wants to post an ad for his trailer, his camping trailer, and whatever other little things he wants done. Gotta fix a boat motor for him eventually, but no, not this weekend. Um, Obviously, I'm gonna be on here doing some replay, so
Yeah, I'll probably do that too some if you want to know the truth about it, because I redid my ATM strategies. You know what I'm talking about, and I figured I'd sit down today and redo the trailing strategies. And what I figured I'd do is just like download. I ain't gonna plan on too much. It's probably end up downloading like maybe a week and just run them
yeah,
just to be sure everything's working right. Maybe I should put it that way. I'm not too worried about it, but you know what I mean.
no, it's always good. Yeah, so I'll
So
probably the usual. I get up early and then do this till well now it's only 5 my time, but like 7 or 8 my time, and then move
yeah,
on with the day a little bit.
especially because I think my wife's gonna be working all weekend.
Mm.
So yeah, she's pissed. Well, she's might as well say she's pretty much retired, but
Yeah,
one of them other little girls. I don't know if I told you or if that was another one. One of them girls up there. She the way she works now is like PRN, so they call her when somebody calls in sick. You know what I mean, or somebody wants a day
yeah,
off or whatever. She just does it for extra money. So what was it? One of them little girls up there is pregnant. Talking about. So guess
yeah.
what? Yeah, they've been calling her in a lot.
She's pissed, eh?
And
She's your,
yeah, well, I mean, she likes to work. Maybe I mean, she still likes to, like 1 day a week, maybe 2 days a week. I mean, you gotta realize she's a nurse, and that's all she did her whole life. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
So, dude, even now, PRN, I mean, she makes like hell 30, 40 something bucks an hour. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
she makes damn good money. You know what I mean? I said, especially because she's basically considered a what do you want to call it, like contract employee? I guess you could
Okay.
say. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, she works for the hospital, but she's not. You get my meaning. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't pay her
Taxes
like,
and
okay, well, they pay taxes, but they don't do like health care and blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So she like, it's like one of them only work as needed deals or whatever. But what was it? That's the only reason she does it, because she can work like 2 days and make, yeah.
oh yeah. Yeah, big shifts, eh? When she doesn't want to trade with you, you guys could have computers beside each other. yeah, I'm joking. yeah.